What the heck is actually going on with Henry Cavill's Superman and Warner Brothers? Yesterday was wild on the internet. A bunch of crazy stuff happened. I want to bring you up to speed on the latest with regards to this story. This is the Nerdy News Rundown. Let's get you filled in. Another reminder, guys, myself and the Den of Nerds crew are going to be at Keystone Comic-Con this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. We were actually in the city yesterday, popped up at a couple different comic book shops, and we are doing the same today to give away some swag and 3-day passes. Make sure to go follow our Instagram, the Den of Nerds with no spaces, so that you can catch where we're at in the city and get your chance to win some tickets. So yeah, as I just said, I did the news yesterday early covering this story, and then I left for the day and was in Philadelphia going around to different comic shops, and the whole time I'm checking out the internet and watching the craziness go down with regards to this Henry Cavill story. So let's break down exactly what happened yesterday. First, it all started with the Hollywood Reporter and their article talking about how Henry Cavill is parting ways with Warner Brothers. This was released and the internet went crazy. A lot of negativity, people not happy with this decision. Then you have statements made by the management team for Henry Cavill, and later in the day you have a statement made by Warner Brothers, and then very late in the day you get a cryptic video on Instagram from Henry Cavill himself. And so let me try to decipher like what actually went down. So first of all, I believe the Hollywood Reporter. I believe sources did explain what was going on to them, and from what I've gathered in the time from yesterday, this all had to do with the cameo of Superman and Henry Cavill's Superman in the Shazam movie. Apparently, Warner Brothers was trying to use Henry Cavill's Superman in the same way that the Marvel Cinematic Universe uses the Nick Fury character. He was going to pop up in different films, sort of set up the Justice League in that kind of a way, and apparently Henry Cavill and his camp not okay with that. You see, Henry Cavill has a contract with Warner Brothers, and I think if he did that cameo in the Shazam film, it would be the last film on his contract, and then they would need to renegotiate. But in general, Henry Cavill has been pushing for Man of Steel 2 and for a solo Superman film with him starring in it for a long time now. Now, with all the restructuring and the new plans and the new take on the DC Films universe, it would appear that Henry Cavill's solo Superman film was being pushed off to the side. So Warner Brothers wanted Cavill to pop up in a bunch of different films, essentially re-sign a contract for a bunch of cameos and being in a group film later on. Cavill really wanted to do the solo picture, and they've been butting heads behind the scene for a long time when it comes to these different kinds of ideas. Henry Cavill has done multiple interviews where he has expressed his desire to do a sequel to Man of Steel, to do a solo Superman film, and to give us a new version of Superman with that same character that we've been following for 5 years. So what exactly happened yesterday? Where does everybody stand in this? Well, I believe this is an example of stirring things up in the press, allowing the internet to do its thing so that you can have more bargaining chips in this negotiation. And if you look at who benefited the most from yesterday, it is Henry Cavill. And this reminds me of what happened when they leaked the Deadpool footage, and all of a sudden that film gets greenlit because of the massive love that that trailer received from the internet. And so I truly believe that Henry Cavill, after trying to play nice and do negotiations the normal way, allowed this leak to happen to the Hollywood Reporter so that Warner Brothers could get a metric of how many people love his Superman character. And to me, that's exactly why he puts up that weird video on Instagram last night. It is his like coy little way of telling us, yeah, this was really good. You guys helped me, internet, to solidify how important my Superman role is to fans out there. Now, as far as the statements themselves, the statement by his management team was something like, "Be kind, the cape is still in his closet." We expect a statement from Warner Brothers later in the day. This was sort of to throw some water on those rumors and basically say, no, the Henry Cavill Superman could still happen. And it was sort of like the ball's in your court, Warner Brothers. Here you go, make a statement. And they made the most vanilla non-statement of a statement I've ever seen. They respect Henry Cavill, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even going to dignify the response by telling you what it was. It was terrible. But at least they got the message. We can hope that negotiations turn around now and we still get more Henry Cavill Superman. So that is exactly where we are at with this story and what I personally believe happened. I think that this was Cavill or somebody close to Cavill and his team, which again, I think explains the cryptic video on his Instagram. Now let's talk Michael B. Jordan. So why did so many people believe that Michael B. Jordan would be cast as the new Superman to replace Henry Cavill? There's a couple of different reasons here. First of all, I believe there have been some talks between Warner Brothers and Michael B. Jordan as far as being a part of the DC universe. Michael B. Jordan is also working on some kind of a program or partnership agreement with Warner Brothers to help diversity take more of a place in Hollywood. So when you couple that with the meetings that he's had, a lot of people believed that Michael B. Jordan could be cast as the next Superman. And as far as my thoughts on that, I think it would be absolutely amazing, but there's no reason, and I repeat, no reason that these two Superman cannot coexist in a single cinematic universe. In the comic books on Earth 23, there is a black Superman, and he also happens to be the President of the United States. I actually really like that character, and I like the multiverse stories that are told on Earth 23. There's some good stuff in Multiversity with that character. So you could have the Michael B. Jordan and the Henry Cavill Superman exist simultaneously. And this just speaks to another thing that I don't understand why they don't do more of in the DC films. The multiverse and multiple versions of characters is a big thing in the comic books. It's not that crazy of an idea to bring to cinema. Why wouldn't you allow that to take place on your big screen movies? But that is the story. That is the update to this whole kerfuffle. There's really no definitive answer of where we go from here. But when I look at everything that happened yesterday, I can't help but think that Henry Cavill came out as a winner and that we will likely be seeing more of him with the cape in future films. And hey, I wouldn't be mad if we got some Michael B. Jordan in there as well. By the way, the art on the thumbnail of Michael B. Jordan is done by Boss Logic. Boss Logic is amazing. Go check out his stuff on Instagram. He's just a great artist that does all of these high-res versions of fan art and different things like that. Boss Logic is dope. A lot of you probably already know who he is, but I just wanted to shout him out. And that is going to do it for today's show. It's Thursday. The weekend is almost here. I'm so excited for this weekend at Keystone Comic-Con. Make sure to stay tuned to the channel to get some cool content from the show. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Now I'm gonna fly away.